Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Welcome to your All-Hallows-Eve spiritual palm reading and guidance session. We're going to be reading some tarot cards for you as well and getting you a good sense of what the sort of new year will bring for you. Okay? So if you don't mind just laying your hands out flat, just like that. And I'm going to connect to your energy. Just letting the reading commence, tapping some patterns into the universe, some vibrations, and communicating with the spirit world. I do this with my eyes closed. It helps me focus my mind's energy on reading yours. I'm going to be using all sorts of oddities today from my collection to prepare the body, connect it to the spiritual world, and release any negative energy that's holding on to you. It'll also help us get more accurate readings, as the energy will be yours and no one else's that is being inputted into the cards. I'm going to throw Astrology dice as our first reading. We'll be doing a few different readings today. We'll have the dice, we'll have the tarot cards, and the palm reading. These are all super powerful ways to get better insight into what's going on in our lives and in our hearts. Okay. Please blow on the dice. And I'm setting them up. So we have the planets first, and this is the south side of the moon. It's referring to past life lessons. It's referring to learning from our mistakes, It's referring to moving forward with a new sense, a newfound sense of intuition and maturity. Next, we have the houses. So for the houses, you got number 11, which is relating to compassion, friendship, humanitarianism, and generally looking outwards to others as opposed to inwards to ourselves. And then lastly, we have the zodiac, which for you was the Scorpio, transformational experience. So all three of these put together, we have learning from past mistakes, applying that knowledge and maturity to others, to giving to others, and providing outwards, and then transforming yourself by doing so. So, okay. I'm gonna place my crystal ball right in between the hands. And take my moon. Tracing around the hands. Three times. Taking that lunar energy, seeing as you receive the south node of the moon as one of your planetary dice poles. Bringing it out through the fingertips. And then tracing it onto the crystal ball. Looking into it. So you have been focusing too much on too much on the negative, but too much on the grander scale. And this is telling me that it'd be more beneficial to work smaller. So work more on a micro scale with your community, with your emotions, not trying to be everything for everyone, focusing on one thing at a time, that your energy is being spread too thin and it's not being effective. Start looking at the palm lines now, using the crystal ball as a magnifying glass and a way to better read. Just give me a few moments to work in silence here as I read your lines. Okay. All right, so Jeremy, I noticed a few things when I was looking at your hands, the lines in your hands. And I did a couple of tests just to see, are we looking at the physical lines of the hands, or are we looking at the spiritual lines of the hands? So the first thing I noticed was that you have asymmetry in your lifeline. So it's pretty weak on the right side and relatively strong on the left side. So what that's telling me is your left body is linked to your right brain, so your emotional side, your feminine side, and your right side body is linked to your left side brain, your logical side. So emotionally, you're very strong, you're very steady. Your life has a relative good amount of love and community, compassion, stable relationships. The life that you lead for others is very purposeful, but you're lacking purpose and you're lacking direction on a more logical level. So this is not saying that you can't figure things out or you're not intelligent. This is saying that your feeling of purpose beyond loving the people in your life, beyond taking care of the people in your life, purpose more like what you do on a day-to-day, what you bring to the world in a more physical, tangible sense. You're feeling a little lost there on that side. The other thing I noticed was that your fate line was actually stronger on this side. And this side, there's a break here. So you have kind of two dueling fate lines on the left hand. One sort of begins separately above after the other one ends. Versus on this side, you have one straight line all the way through. So what that's telling me is that your future, as far as what you're going to be physically doing in life, is pretty stable. You're probably on a path that's going to continue, so not going to see any major changes to things like lifestyle or who you are as a person, what you like to do, things like that are going to be pretty stable. More, the more surface level things. But on a more intimate level, internally, there will be a change at some point in your life where you emotionally are very changed, or relationships really change. Not so much about you as a person, but about the people that surround you and the way that you feel about them. Upwards we have the luck line, or the fortune line. Yours is pretty weak on both sides. That doesn't mean you're an unlucky person. That simply means that your luck is going to be self-made. It is not determined one way or the other. You put yourself in positive situations, you'll get positive out of it, as opposed to, being an unlucky person or a lucky person. You just simply are, and you'll have to put yourself in positions to receive that fortune in life. Okay, and your love line. So your love line is also very strong on both hands. You're going to have probably one major consistent relationship. Love is very important and valuable to you because it's very deep. It goes very deep in here, the line, and it's something that you're going to prioritize pretty much for your entire life. It goes from the outside of the hand all the way almost to the inside of the hand, which means you're going to have a lifetime of love, both given to you and to give, which is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to cleanse you in between this and the tarot card reading. The tarot card reading is going to give us more insight into the practical, which is where I think you're lacking a bit. The love, the compassion, the relationships, the humanity of yourself is very strong. Using a crow feather, they're extraordinarily wise and clever creatures. Do you feel ready for the reading? Okay, you can put your hands backwards and rest them gently in your lap. I've got 2 packs to choose from. I'm going to see which one is better suited to you today. Just keep your eyes closed. Okay. Big base. We're going to do a 5-card pull. Jeremy, I want you to take a chunk of this, any amount that you want, and just separate it. Do that again. 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 Last time. Perfect. Thank you. So we're going to start from the first card you pulled. It's the last card. So you've got 3 swords. So Jeremy, you've received all suit cards. So swords, wands, discs, these are all suits. So there's no major arcana, only minor arcana. Starting out with the Queen of Swords. So this card, would you consider yourself in a high vibration or a low vibration right now? So positive or negative space mentally?
Probably in between.
In between, okay. So we can kind of read for both, and you'll have to just sort of analyze what is feeling accurate to you, okay? So in a high vibe, the Queen of Swords is going to be clarity. It's going to be confidence, surety of self. In a low vibe, it's going to be anxiety, depression, questioning your own mind. So somewhere in between that, sort of a neutral vibe, you're going to have kind of slightly emotionless, something where you're not feeling particularly good about yourself, you're not feeling particularly bad about yourself. It's very much a lack of self awareness and lack of self thought. Like you're not thinking of yourself at all if you're in a more neutral space. You'll have to kind of pick and choose what that is, but that would feel kind of aligned with the palm reading on the left side, or on the right side rather, with feeling a little like lost with personal, what you bring to the world personally. If you're feeling a little that you're not feeling confident and you're not feeling depressed, you're just feeling very unsure. So that makes sense. Then we have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords, as you can kind of see in the picture, is it seems quite violent in the picture, but all it really means is endings. So in a high vibration, you're going to feel completion, new beginnings, something, finishing in a good way where you've gotten it done and you're moving on to the next thing. But in a lower vibration, you're going to feel loss. You're going to feel confusion. You're going to feel grief. So it's, a loss of something. But the question is simply, how are you going to react to it? Are you going to react to it as an opportunity for something new, or rather a grief and death of the old? Then we have the Eight of Wands. This leads perfectly in from the Ten of Swords, because Eight of Wands is all about drive, ambition, or their lack thereof. So in a high vibration, you're looking at intentionality, you're looking at excitement, you're looking at drive, you're looking at work ethic. On a low vibration, you're looking at laziness, dullness, lack of inspiration. So, we've got so far 3 cards that are very much telling us a story. We've got a Queen of Swords, who's telling us how we feel about ourselves. We have the Ten of Swords is telling us how we feel about a loss or experience, and the Eight of Wands telling us how we're now reacting to that loss and feeling. Are we doing it in a way where we're productive and creating anew, or are we doing it in a way where we're retreating into a state of inaction? Bringing us to the Eight of Discs. So on a high vibration, we have craftsmanship, we have new invention, and on a low vibration, we again have a bit of low energy, laziness, complicitness. So the Eight of Discs and Eight of Wands are honestly very similar cards. The only difference is that the Eight of Discs is a little bit more about the actual creation of something, and the Eight of Wands is more the desire to create it. Finally, we have Prince of Swords. Our Prince tells us about ingenuity, creativity. It's a card of motivation. It's, are you a visionary? Are you able to craft this idea and move forward with it? Or are you lacking that inspiration? Are you lacking that drive? So this whole story, everything here is telling me that there's been a change in your life personally, and you're at a kind of a neutral point where you can decide, are you going to move forward and take this energy, this loss, and turn it into a new beginning, a new creative endeavor, a new cycle of power and resilience? Or is it going to go the other way, where you really retreat inwards to yourself and become someone who doesn't live up to their full potential, because you have so much potential based on these cards? That's what I'm reading into it anyway. All right. Turn this to the deck. Jeremy, I just would like to close our session with held hands and connecting our energies one last time, and also connecting us to the spiritual world. So I'm going to hum a vibration, and it's going to go from me into your hands and into the heavens. How do you feel? Was that an enlightening session for you? Okay, something to take away from that. Good. All right, Jeremy, well, it's been a pleasure getting to provide this insight to you, and I hope that you have an amazing All Hallows Eve and a new year that becomes new beginnings for you.
Thank you so much.